Greetings, YouTube, and welcome back to me. How have you been? How are you doing? I've been fine. I'm not fine. That's my dog. How do you like the new lighting? I got an idea. It was a pretty good idea. I got an idea to use my TV, which is pretty big, not gonna lie, as a lighting source. And I moved my camera a bit too, but that one was more annoying and challenging, not as easy as just turning on my Xbox. I got the idea from a non-published video that probably won't be published anytime soon. A friend of mine talking into something I don't think I'm actually going to do yet. I might do it later, but not right now. Anyway, boy do I have something for you today. All of the passion of a burned individual. Yes, it's time for another ZZ rant. Let's go, boys and girls and dogs and cats, of course, too. You can't forget cats. Don't forget ferrets. Who's got a ferret? I know somebody's got a ferret. PBG. He's got a ferret. Peanut Butter Gamer. If you haven't seen him, he's pretty cool. Go check him out. Not that he needs my endorsement. But anyway. Oh, boy. You ever get really passionate about something and you put your heart and soul into that something, and then it rips itself out of your body, become its own entity, and kicks you directly in the ballsack? No? Just me? Okay then. Anyway though, I have been playing this really enjoyable game these past couple days. Put about maybe 150 hours into it to get everything done exactly the way I want it. Plenty of reloads to make sure that I get the exact thing done that I want done. I had to reload at least 7 times on one decision that I wanted to do, because I didn't want to look up a guide for how to do it, but I still wanted to do it. And it required me to do one of the hardest boss fights in the game 7 goddamn times in a row just to be able to make the decision a second time. Well, I did it. I beat the whole game. It was magical. I love not only the gameplay was meh, but the universe and story was so fucking amazing that I was really hyped for the sequel. Now, this game I'm talking about is Pillars of Eternity. Normally I don't like isometric RPGs in the slightest, which should give you a good what's the word? Reference point for the fact, or not a reference point. I can't think of the word right now, but it should give you a good idea, I guess, of the problems that this would have arose trying to get into it. Because I don't like isometric games. I don't like them at all. Mostly, especially the real-time gameplay with pause. That's what Pillars of Eternity has. No! Fuck no! Hell no! I hate that shit. I had to play it on story difficulty in order to even play it. Well, I moved up to easy. I played a little bit on a different separate campaign up to a certain point on story difficulty, which is, it's basically so easy a baby could do it. I got to the point where I was one-shotting literally everything. So I moved up to easy, which, believe it or not, my buddy, who's way better at video games than me, tried to play it on normal, and died to the first bandit. The first one. There were 2, but he died to the first one. True story. But anyway, I moved it up to easy, which might as well be the normal difficulty on this game, let me tell you. Until later, when you get broken-ass equipment and everything becomes a cakewalk. Early game is the hardest part for it, which is why I had so much a hard time getting into it. But anyway, you essentially a fucking badass throughout the entire game. And when you play it on the easy after the beginning and you get some good equipment and start boosting up your attributes. I forget where I was going, but so I'm just gonna go somewhere else. Anyway, it was a really good game, and I had a lot of enjoyment all the way through. I ensured that I got the best endings for every character. I convinced, like for example, Zawa. He was my second favorite. Grieving Mother was my favorite companion. Zawa was my second favorite companion. I thought I was gonna hate him. I was a drug-using druggy monk. Does not sound like somebody I would enjoy on paper, but he is great. He's great. I love him, especially his voice. I think he sounds like he's voiced by Jameson Price, and I wouldn't be surprised. Jameson Price is fucking amazing. I could be wrong, but I know the voice actor. Like, I know him. I know a bunch of voice actors' names by heart, but I get them confused. Like, sometimes I get Jameson Price and Travis Willingham confused, but they're two different voices. But I have a hard time putting the name to the voice. Like, I recognize the voice. Like, I could tell you that the guy who played Zawa played. And now that I'm on the spot, put myself on the spot. Who did he play? God damn it. I know a bunch of people that he played, I swear. But the second you try to talk about it, the second you try to think about something, right as you're like, I can do that, that's easy. And then your brain goes, no you can't, fuck you. I swear though, I know a bunch of, I'm not a liar, I know a bunch of people he plays. But I just, off the top of my head right now, I can't think of anything. It just vacated my brain. But anyway, I know the voice, recognize the voice. And I recognize Travis Willingham. Right now, now that I can't talk about the other guy, I can talk about Travis Willingham. I know a bunch of people he voices. Fucking Lieutenant Colonel Roy Mustang from Fullmetal Alchemist is one good, perfect example. He plays, in the second game, I know he's a voice name of Grog or something. Like he's supposed to be a barbarian or some shit. And, let's see. He doesn't actually have as many roles, though. I know there's someone else that's just as important to me as Lieutenant Colonel Roy Mustang. Oh yeah, Kotaro from Sino Kubasara. Kotaro Katakura, I think his name is. He's really fucking cool. The Dragon's Right Eye. But yeah, I can't think of the other guy right now because my brain decided to fart. But I swear I know plenty of roles, just like I did Travis Willingham. But anyway, I liked him. I got the ending I thought for him was perfect without a guide. I got real lucky. He believes he lost his clan essentially, and all the people he loved to slavery. And then by the time he managed to feel like he got enough power to try to get them back, they had already been assimilated as slaves and things to another clan, and it's pretty tragic. But I managed to convince him that his clan lives through him. That his choices and what he can do essentially causes them to their memory to live. And in his ending that I got for him, he decided to essentially remake his clan and teach every single member of them the knowledge of his clan instead of passing it down in an individual line. Which is, to me, it's the best ending for him. And then I convinced the girl who wanted to forget her memory in my house. I didn't like her that much. I'm gonna be honest. Didn't like her. But I just want to talk about this for a second. I convinced her to remember the memory that she wanted to forget, which was something she did in a past life that was horribly barbaric. I convinced her that by remembering that memory, she shows herself that it's wrong. It's like the idea of if someone went back in time and killed Hitler. There would just be another Hitler. The fact that Hitler is a bad example keeps people from following the same path. People look at Hitler and go, yeah, no, I don't want to be that. So it keeps us from humanity from treading that path again because of the large ass fucking stigma on it. So her doing that thing in the past, it wasn't her. It was the way Pillars of Eternity works. If you don't know, when people die, they immediately are reincarnated with no memory. It's a fresh start. They go on the wheel of Bareth, which sends them into a new body, a new birth, a new life. Normally, people don't remember their old lives at all. You can have what's called an awakening, which is different for different people. So that you can remember the entire personality in life you had in a past life, and it becomes a part of you, so it's essentially split personality disorder. Or you can remember a specific memory like she did, and anything in between. You could get skills and no memory, the energy of a past life, instead of, your actual past life, just the way you were energetic or something, and that added to you. And there's so many different ways it can go. But point being, for her, she remembered something horrible that she did in a past life willingly, and it wasn't her doing it, but it helped keep her from doing it again. That memory helped keep her from doing it. Is why I picked it. And then finally, the thing I had to restart 7 times for because I didn't want to use a guide was you have the option at the end of one of the DLCs, spoiler alert, to temper Abaddon, the god of the Forge. You can, instead of making him come back, which causes trouble for everybody, or eradicating the possibility of him gaining his original memories and power, you can instead convince his army to rebuild him with added context to his memories that he wouldn't have had normally. That way he can keep his memories, get back his power, but understand the reasons and things that went down in the background that caused what tragic thing happened to him, that caused that to happen to him. It's the best ending, in my opinion, and it also produces the best results. So, are you ready for the rant portion? I beat the game. The whole game. Got everybody's character ending. Sat through the credits and thanked each and every fucking company logo and important person I could find on the fucking credits. For real. Sat here. It was like, thank you, Paradox Interactive. Thank you. Thank you. Just went down the fucking list because I was so happy. It was so much fun. And I got the perfect ending and it made me so happy. And then I booted up the sequel. In the beginning of the sequel on consoles, not PC, you can't import your history. I knew this. Going in. I was okay with that. I was like, they give you this creator to pick the choices you picked. You know? So you can mix and you could take all the choices, kind of like Dragon Age Keep. I was thinking. I didn't know. But I was thinking, kind of like Dragon Age Keep, where you pick the things you did, and you can essentially make a history that's all the things you did the way you did it. So I was like, yeah, you know, it's okay if I can't import. I understand, you know, indie dev, even though it's a fucking Obsidian, they didn't have enough money, I guess. You know, that's fine. Even BioWare, even though they have a character importer for, you know, Mass Effect 2 and 3, they had EA backing them, so, I guess, you know, that's fine. Oh, no, these guys just being lazy. Camera's mirrored. Anyway, I thought, you know, that's fine, I guess. Obsidian doesn't have the backing of a, you know, $1 million corporation like Microsoft or anything. But anyway, I was like, you know what, that's fine. I'll just pick the options that I picked to make sure that my history can go forward, and that's fine by me. You know, that was perfectly fine. You know the things I just mentioned? All 3 of them are not options, including tempering Abaddon. You can't pick that as an option. You literally cannot do it. The good ending, you can't have it. It's not for you. It doesn't allow you to pick the ending that I made. But people on PC can import it. You heard me right. People with enough money to splurge on the fucking PC version. But me, without enough money, with my fucking 6-year-old PC, can't. Can you say favoritism? Can you say horseshit? That is absolute ridiculous garbage. That should not be allowed. I can understand exclusives. There is no competition without exclusive games. PC has the largest library of exclusive games because it's easy to make games on PC. That's perfectly acceptable to me. I have no issues with that. Zero. Even Xbox and PlayStation exclusives. We got Halo. We got God of War. Okay. That is needed. Competition is needed for progression. You can't go forward if nobody's pushing you forward. At least in an industry. Somebody has to be a leader. Look at Apple. They ain't going fucking nowhere. Because they're making enough money staying where they are and have no competition, quotation marks. I don't own phones or know anything about the phone industry. That was a bad example. But my point is, if you don't have competition, you don't move forward. People still buy Apple phones, despite the fact that they don't go forward anymore. That Steve Jobs is dead, and he does not provide any forward motions for that. He doesn't provide any innovations. He's a corpse. He can't. But in this specific situation, there's no excuse. There's an excuse for them not adding the ability to import. And I'm okay with that. Not having an import thing, I mean, no other game has done it, so I'm assuming it's hard. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. That's probably too hard on consoles. No other game series has ever done it on consoles besides Mass Effect. So I'll give you that, Obsidian. I'll give you that. Why can't I pick the text options of what I did? You know, they're just text. Text. You could type, I could type that out into the fucking files. I could type that choice out. You have no excuse. Even the references, you don't have to voice act them. You don't have to voice act those choices, and you don't have to voice act the references to what I've done. You can just fucking type them out. But no, instead I'm punished because I played on consoles. So word to the wise, if you're interested in Pillars of Eternity, don't buy it on Xbox or PlayStation. Deprive them of the satisfaction of the money. Because that's the only way you can convince them that this shit is unacceptable. And it is unacceptable. It is completely unacceptable. So say fuck them. Because that's horseshit. And I can't say no now. I've already been caught in the trap, so I'm spreading the fucking word. Don't buy it on console. I don't expect to get that many viewers, but I don't care. For every person who hears this, do not buy Pillars of Eternity on console. Don't. Because if you're into it, like me, you're just going to feel pain. And if you're not into it, you're still going to feel pain, because guess what? Hey, another thing, let's add to this. Nothing to do with Obsidian or Pillars of Eternity. But, you see, for Christmas, my mom got me a game. She's nice enough to buy me a video game. Well, she gave me the money, I bought it. Me and my buddy were wanting to play King of Fighters. I forget which one now. It wasn't 13, is basically the point. But we were wanting to play King of Fighters. And I attempted to buy the King of Fighters that my buddy was suggesting, but I got the wrong one. I got 13. So I asked Xbox for a refund. I told them the truth, got the wrong one, wanted to get a completely different one, and I spent $30 on the wrong one accidentally. And they told me no. They said it's been too long since you bought it. It had been 5 days. I assumed the limit is a week. I didn't even play it. I played it when I first bought it, and then realized it was the wrong one. And then immediately tried to, or after asking my buddy if it was the wrong one, I didn't realize it was the wrong one when I played it. It didn't feel like what my buddy was describing. But he was too busy to talk to me. He has to go to work and shit. I don't. I can't work. So I had to wait for the opportunity to talk to him and ask him if I got the right one. But it only took 5 days. I managed to find out that I bought the wrong one. And I suggested a refund. Or asked for a refund, rather. Because I figured, you know what? It hasn't been a week yet. I played it for like 30 minutes tops. Should be fine. No, apparently not. I got an automated email telling me it had been too long. I looked at their rules. The rules say a week. The rules say a week. They don't even have a playtime. They just say as long as it has been a week. It wasn't a week. So I contested the email and told them, hey, it hadn't been a week. You know, I need my refund. I got another automated refund saying the exact same thing. No different in wording or anything. Except for the beginning where it said, we understand that you didn't agree with our last one, basically. So they sent the same thing again that I didn't agree with because I didn't agree with it. What? And then they did it a third time. This time it had been a week. They took 3 extra days and says, I'm sorry, it's been a week since you bought it. When I asked, it wasn't a week. Are you for real, Microsoft? Are you fucking shitting my taint right now? Are you fucking for real? Oh, and to add insult to injury, the one I spent $30 on in January was a free game. Yeah, it came out free in January. Isn't that great? Don't you? Wouldn't you be happy to buy the wrong thing for fucking $30? A game that came out in 2010 or 2011. You spend 30 bones on that motherfucker and find out not only is it the wrong one and you'd have to buy another one if you want the one you actually wanted, but also the next month after you buy it, it's free! Wow. And there's my dog.
Hey, Jesus, what are you doing, baby?
It's fucking horseshit. Both of these situations are horseshit and should not have been allowed, but yet, here they are. In the words of the almighty YouTube patron deity of rage, you done fucked it up! But that's it for today. It's been 21 minutes of me bitching about fucking horseshit. So, see ya.